Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Positively Insane podcast. I am Kevin Alexander, and I will be your host and spirit guide for the next 15 minutes of your life. I'm just outside. The weather wasn't too bad. A little bit chilly out here, but so I'm just outside walking around. Hopefully the audio quality isn't too bad. I basically stopped listening to these before I uploaded them because I figure I don't really want to redo them. And so but this is officially going to be, well, pretty much all of my podcasts are pretty personal, but this one's going to be a little more emotionally difficult to deal with, but it's basically what I talk about a lot on this show is things in the past, things that I've done in the past, overcome in the past, and, I try to, come up with some sort of wisdom based out of that information, and I never really deal with any of the things I'm going through right now. Quite frankly, because I'm pretty much embarrassed by it. And I've gotten so good at lying to myself about who I am and the behavior patterns I've noticed of late. I've been in serious denial about some pretty serious issues that are holding me back. And they've been holding me back for a long time. Basically, over this last weekend, I recognized some pretty serious behavioral patterns during my meditation sessions, and to be honest, it's got me all fucked up. It really has kind of knocked me off my stride, but this is normal for me. You see, this is a cycle. I find these things about myself. I get all fucked up over it for a couple of months. I'm really trying to avoid that this time. And then either A, I start getting better at it, or B, something else comes along and I start ignoring the issue for a later date, which is the case with this particular thing. I guess let me just get to the point instead of beating around the bush. It's not the end of the world, it's just embarrassing as fuck. Basically, I'll just start out with the fact that I don't have a job. I only worked roughly 3 weeks out of the last, let's say out of the last year. Let's put it at a solid month and a half. I worked. I had some plans around tax time last year. I was going to leave state. That didn't work out. I had my car stolen from me. And then I just kind of went down the depression tube again. And I got stuck. And just kind of sum up. Let me go back a little bit farther. Start from, right around the time of the homeless shelter. A lot of you guys know I was in the homeless shelter for 3 months last year. If you've been paying attention to my Facebook posts, I tried doing some stand-up comedy. And that didn't go as well as expected. In fact, it kind of demoralized me quite a bit. And I had been on a confidence high at the time. Sorry, I'm a little out of wind. There's a lot of fucking snow out here. But had been on a bit of a confidence high at the time. Went in, ate some serious dick on stage twice, and it shattered my confidence, and it shattered the self-image I had developed of myself at the time, which I had truly believed I had unlocked some hidden potential in my mind, and that I could accomplish anything I set my mind to. I just had to do it. And so when I really embarrassed myself in such a public fashion in front of all these people, I instantly had to reevaluate my headspace. See, I don't trust my mind, and I'm a little bit concerned about some mental health issues that I don't talk about a lot, but I think they might be, the product of my drug use in the past. And let's be honest, I'm not using meth or coke or any of the fucked up shit so much, but I won't lie, man. For the last 3 or 4 years, I've been robo-tripping. I've been drinking bottles of Robitussin on the regular. For a lot of people who don't know what Robitussin, or obviously that's a cough syrup, but for those who don't know what it does, basically the active ingredient is DXM. That's short for something else I'm not going to try to pronounce right now, but it's basically watered down PCP, angel dust. It's and I say watered down or weak PCP, that does not mean it's a watered down or weak drug. This shit will fuck. This shit, I struggle with it because, to me, I had a lot of personal breakthroughs while deep in the universe that's inside my head while flying on DXM. It's an incredibly powerful psychedelic / disassociative, and it's used by a lot of people for introspection and self-reflection and self-improvement. Now, I don't know how healthy this shit is. Honestly, I've been terrified to look up what long-term use will do to my liver and my kidneys. I've probably developed some serious damage that I'm hoping won't be too much of an issue later in life if I get my fucking shit together and stop using. The problem is, there's not a lot in the way of, programs or rehab for Robitussin, for cough syrup. And what is out there, it drastically misunderstood. I mean, I believe I found a clinic specifically for cough syrup addiction, and basically all it is, it's a 3-day fucking tank. You go sit in, it's a detox tank. It doesn't deal with any of the psychological issues that I've created for myself over the course of 3 to 4 years. Now, let's see how much time I have. This might have to be a 2-part episode. I still got 5 minutes. Alright, you know, like I said, I'm really just gonna talk about the subject matter a little bit, and then if you are really interested in the fuller, in-depth explanation, you know, Wednesday night, this Wednesday at around 7 o'clock, Samir and I are going to be live streaming the first episode of the Breakfast Hour with Toast and Pancakes, and you know, that's going to be a much longer show than this. I'll talk about these things in depth, but basically I brainwashed myself because I'm not a happy person. I'm really not. And I try to do all these things, these podcasts. I run my page the way I run it. You know, I read the psychology books I follow the psychology professors I follow and listen to their lectures on YouTube. And I'm constantly gathering information, self-help information, in an attempt to help other people who are like me. But at the same time, underneath that, I'm really trying to figure out how to help myself. And, you know, I started creating that religion based on the worship of whales. But like I've said 100 times, that's just the imagery and the mythology of the religion. Underneath that, it's basically just a system for trying to improve yourself, improve your mental health, improve your spiritual health, your physical health, your emotional health, to be a better person in general, to be a happier, healthier person. You know, everything I do is because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with me. You know, I haven't worked a steady job for a couple of years. I get them here and there when I really need them. But the fucked up thing that's got me so fucked up right now is this behavior pattern. It's been going on since 2010. Since my ex and I broke up, is basically I get into an emotional funk. I find somebody who's willing to help me out. And then I stagnate. I stagnate and I take advantage of these people without even realizing that's what I'm doing until the relationship breaks down and we have to go our separate ways. This has happened over and over since 2010. It started with my mom. You know, bless her, it started with her. Then, you know, I went on this whole thing where I was chasing after my best friend. That didn't work out, and that fucked me up a bit. Around that time is when I started doing the cough syrup really heavily. And I started using, I was living in a hole. I was living in a hole in a basement on probably a 3-foot pile of garbage, you know, with maggots and flies in the cat box next to me and my fucking cat down there because I couldn't take care of him. Couldn't take care of myself. And I haven't figured out how to fucking start doing it since then. I had to watch my cat die because I couldn't fucking take care of him. And I keep doing it. And it blows my fucking mind that it wasn't until this weekend during meditation that I fucking see these behaviors for what they are. You know, I'm not the kind of person I thought I was. I use people. I get people to believe in me and trust me, and I use them, and I let them down. Basically, that's what I'm going to talk about on Wednesday. Hopefully a little less negative. But, yeah, you know the drill. Find me on Facebook. Find me on Twitter. Fucking nobody does. But, you know, I ain't trying to be a negative asshole. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just working through my shit. Have a good day. Yeah. Peace.